Welcome to my second video on using Excel and statistics. Here we're going to be talking about making graphs. So to start with, I have some data here. This is educational attainment and then broken down by gender. And I'm going to go ahead and I want to create a side-by-side bar graph here. So I'm going to go ahead and click with my left button here, and I'm going to drag all the way over to here. Let's try that again. I'll click and drag to select all my information there. And I'm going to go to my Insert tab here so I can insert a column graph. And I'm going to do just a basic 2D here. You notice Excel does all the work for me here. It's created the chart, it's scaled it to the right side, it's added all the labels. If I want to change how it looks, I have this quick styles here. If I want to make it something dramatic like red with a black background, I can do that, and those are built in. So there's a lot of built-in things. There's a lot of features here you can change both quickly as well as getting into the nitty-gritty details, and I'm going to let you play with those on your own. Moving on, I'm going to go ahead over to my next sheet. Here I have another set of data. I have different rates, and I'll be honest, I don't remember what these rates refer to. Let's say they're unemployment rates from 2001. By state, and these are, so there's one state that had an unemployment rate between 5 and 5.9. There were 11 states that had unemployment rates between 11.0 and 11.9 for a total of 51 states. Now you notice up here I got that by doing the equals sum command. Sum just means add up, and then I had it add up from B2 to B17 to get 51 states, which makes sense. The next thing I want to do is I actually want to create a relative frequency row here. So I'm going to first of all label it relative frequency and hit enter, and I'm going to make sure it's the right size for me. And now I'm going to do a little computation. So I start with my equals. Hey Excel, do something is what equals says, and I'm going to say equals whatever's here divided by, and then I'm going to say whatever's here in my total area. I'm going to change this slightly though. I'm going to change that, instead of B18, I'm going to make it $B, $18. What happens is when I copy this down to the other rows, it's going to actually change from B2 to B3 to B4 to B5 as I go down each row. It would do the same thing with that B18, which I don't want it to do. That $ says, don't change this B, don't change what column I'm in, and the $ in front of the 18 says, don't change what row I'm in. So now, when I copy that, and I select all of these here, and I paste, if I go into, say, my 11.0 range, my 11 to 11.9, you notice it's changed that first one to B8, but the second one remains B18. I could also, in theory here, do equals U divided by 51, if I know that 51 is not going to change. But the advantage to this system is if I say, no, that's not supposed to be 4, that's supposed to be 6, it's going to update everything for me. So if I made a mistake or I get new information, I can just change the data and it'll fix everything for me. So now I have my relative frequency. So the first thing I could do is, just like on the other sheet, I can select this. Actually, let's not include the total there. I can select that, and I can insert a bar graph, which in this case would be a histogram. I'm going to use cones here this time. And it gives me that, and of course I can go ahead and change my styles. I feel like having some purple here. So that's one chart I can do here. I could also do a pie chart. And let's get fancy here and go 3D, like that. You notice Excel does all the work for me. There's all sorts of graphs here in that insert, and you're going to want to play around with them and get comfortable with them.